the neck, and the new matriarch is dead. The day belongs to the lions.
Leadership at its best. Right, somebody once asked me if lions are actually born like this. No, what we're going to do now is look at how we, in a team, how we shape the individuals in our team to become valued members of that team from the very beginning. So, at a very early age, and from the day that they're born, every individual or those youngsters is taught to be a valued person or individual on that team. They are taught that there's respect, that there's cooperation, that there's loyalty, and that they belong to the team. Everyone plays that role. Reliance, dependence, and total support. That's installed within each individual. This is a photograph of a youngster not sitting between its mother's legs, but between the legs of another female. It doesn't matter who it is. We rely on one another. And from a very early age, they are taught to hunt. It's no accident that this youngster is lying here by its mom's tail. When that tail is flicked, that black spot hits the deck, and immediately it's pounced upon by the baby. The training has begun. And so through play, these youngsters will learn the tricks of the trade all the time. This individual here, this little cub, believes implicitly that it alone was entirely responsible for bringing down this zebra. It believes that. Because from an early age, the youngsters are nurtured to be confident, to be successful, to be achievers, to be able to perform, and to have a can-do attitude. All the time this happens. They're exposed to situations which could help them out later on. And I mean, this is no accident. We know that in Chobe, there are lion prides which have actually specifically learned to hunt elephants. No target too big because of this confidence that's installed within the team members. But let me just discuss for a moment how these team members work together in order to derive their profits, as it were. In lions, essentially, there's two groups of females. We have the larger females, which bring to the party their power, their strength, and their experience in that environment. And then we have the younger females. And the younger females bring to the party their speed, their agility, their recklessness, and their ability to take chances. And it's these two qualities between the older females and the younger females that are put into play when a hunt happens. But before a hunt even starts, there's got to be the following: a common goal. So these lions, everybody must know what we're after. Otherwise, we don't need a team. We can all do our own thing. There they see the common goal, which is the impala on the left, and then they've got to have a strategy. In this case, the strategy is the older females will go around behind that ante, burst out, and chase the impala towards the ambush. This ambush system is always used in lions to great effect. Here's a good example where an impala is ambushed so accurately over the lioness. In this case, it's a different situation, but in this case, it was missed. But it just shows how the ambush situation works. Here is an attack on zebras. So it's important to note that the older females, remember, the experienced females, begin the attack. Look how close they're getting. We've got a female over here starting a gentle trot. This female over here in the foreground is looking to see that her colleagues, the youngsters, are in position. The zebras aren't even spooked because these lionesses know what they're doing. Youngsters couldn't have got this close. So a gentle attack begins, and we're going to herd the zebras down past that tree line in the background towards the ambush. There they go. The attack has started, and this is where the younger females come out. total accountability, total commitment. It's up to me now to get this thing done. And they will attack. And it's a dangerous move to make, because I must tell you, getting a kick in the face by a zebra could kill you. It could break your jaw, which means you can't eat. It could cave your skull in. And it's happened on many occasions. And there's total reliance and support. The minute that that zebra goes down, it can't be held by that single lioness, that she knows that the support will be there instantly, in seconds. And that's exactly what happens. The strength of the team is stronger than the sum of the strengths of the individuals. Team. Together, everybody achieves more. That's what it stands for. And so there's a good example of how the attack was launched by the older females, and everybody benefits. But we've got to set ourselves bigger targets. You're looking here at 800 kilograms of total sense of humor failure that looks at you as if you've owed it money, or if it's just watched another clientele life ad. Buffaloes are a force to be reckoned with. Here at the waterhole, all the animals were drinking. There's some sign of danger. Everybody flees. Birds, giraffes, zebra. But the buffalo turn and face the so-called danger. Which brings me to another question. Do we always know what we're running from? And was it necessary to have run at all? But that's a different story. The buffaloes will face the attack. And buffaloes are lion killers. Over and over again, many lions have paid the ultimate price for facing buffaloes. And there they go. And this just shows you how they do kill them. So how do we then approach this attack? Well, completely opposite from the attack on the zebras, it's now the young females that start the attack. You see, the bulls are on the outside of the buffalo herd. The cows and the calves generally are in the middle. So the young females attack the bulls. The bulls immediately counterattack. The females, the youngsters, have the agility and speed to get away, so they draw the buffalo bulls away from the herd, and that leaves the more powerful, the older, experienced females to hammer the unprotected herd. Now, even when they've caught a buffalo, they can't bring it down. But I want you to see, and I hope you can on your screen, what's happening over here. This lioness is lying on its back, got its claws hooked into the buffalo's neck, and it's folded its muzzle, its mouth, over the muzzle of the buffalo. In close-up, that's actually what happens. So they will hold on, blocking off the buffalo's air supply, using this specific technique until the buffalo goes down. It's an innovative way of doing it. It's a different way of doing it. And we've got to learn new skills in order to grow. We have to. New skills in order to grow. I've often, in my work, heard of people saying, oh, well, I don't get promoted. You know, I do the job the best job. Everybody, nobody does the job better than me, but I don't get promoted. Well, maybe that's why you're not getting promoted, because you're doing the job better than anyone else. And maybe you need to learn other skills where you can perhaps teach people, teaching skills, teach people to do the job as well as you do it. Or I hear people saying, I've been here for so many years, but they've employed youngsters, which are now my boss. I've been here much longer than them. Well, perhaps they employed the boss for the skills that leader was going to bring to the party. Maybe that person's good in management or planning or sales or whatever it is. So if you feel that the world's abandoned you and you're not getting anywhere, it's a strong possibility because you haven't developed the skills or upskilled to be able to move on, to move to the next step. And rather than lamenting your loss in life, the smallest skill change that you can improve yourself with could change your world forever. Do it. None of us alone are as smart as all of us together. And that's, again, what comes from working together in teams. Some of us think, well, maybe you don't always have to work so hard, the profits will come. It does happen, but not always. I'll say no more. So in teams, together everybody achieves more. Every individual is important and has a role. Trust, loyalty, respect, and cooperation are critical within teams. There's got to be a common goal with a well-formulated plan, and we must develop new skills if we want to grow. But what if you're an individual? What if you're an individual and you don't work in a team? And there are many people that work from home, have their own businesses, and yet they're in the same environment as a team. Well, this is exactly what this position that a leopard finds itself in. And if you're going to be operating alone in the environment, the first thing you've got to do is hone your skills. There are those eyes that see equally well by night as they do in the day. Those ears can hear the rustle of a mouse in the grass below. The nose can smell a newborn impala kilometers away. The whiskers designed to measure the size of the body as it's moving through the underbreath, and the ears as well. So it's honed the skills completely better than the individual line would be to operate within the same marketplace. I say the leopard's mantra, which I've always taught my youngsters: say less than you know, show less than you've got, and never take more than you must. The leopard positions itself up in the environment, looking wind down. It can see what's happening in front of it. It'll smell what's happening behind it, and it's totally aware of what's occurring in its environment. Marketing critical. A leopard is so confident in its abilities that it's apart from spraying or claw marking on trees, it will actually advertise, as you know, that it's hunting with that and let everybody know, here I am, this is my territory, this is who we're dealing with. Stalker and a pouncer. Intent, control, and maneuverability. That leopard's not going to make a smallest move if it's not necessary to do so. Because a stalker and a pouncer operates on those three words: assess, plan, and execute. Ape, assess, plan, and execute. You know, there's nothing that you can do without employing those three words. You can't go and buy bread at the supermarket without employing those three words: assess, plan, and execute. And so 90% of a leopard strategy is to assess and plan, and execution is the final little bit, the last 10%. It hunts over very short distances, 30 to 5 meters or so. And so it works with total efficiency. That's something we must learn, is to be efficient. Remember, it's only humans that run for fun in terms of energy expenditure. Here's how it works: assess, plan, look at the environment, get the wind right. That little steenbok's got these massive ears. It knows what's going on, but the planning takes as long as what it takes. There's the execution, which is a blur of speed, and finally the success. Assess, plan, and execute. Compare this with the chaser. The chaser is a cheater. Cheaters are reactive. Don't be a chaser. Huge amounts of energy are spent. Chases happen 300 to 600 meters in terms of energy expenditure, speeds of 110 kilometers an hour. When I say reactive, if the prey turns left, you turn left. If the prey turns right, you turn right. If the prey spins around, you've got to do the same. That's why you've got a long tail to help you do that. So you are not in control as a chaser. But you do have the speed. Competitors that come from all over, from the ground, from the sky, they're all over the place. They want what you've got, and they're going to hit you when it's particularly vulnerable. They're ruthless, They're going to hammer you all the way. So you have to develop a competitive strategy. And this is why leopards have a competitive advantage over their competitors by being able to drag their prey up into a tree. This competitive advantage is extremely important because it ensures that all your hard work is left directly for your benefit, for you to enjoy with no threat from anyone else taking it away from you. This, of course, is a very big thing in our marketplace, and leopards have conquered this. By the way, 52%, a study done in the Kruger Park, of leopards have their prey in trees visited by the other competitors, but they only lose 2%. The difference here on the chaser in the Serengeti, a cheetah having made a kill is 15 minutes. 15 minutes to enjoy the kill, that's maximum. Before the vultures pull in, the hyenas follow the vultures, and that's about it. So they lose up to 40% of their prey. 40% can be lost very quickly, compared with the leopards. It's about, as I said, 2%. Now, if you're operating as an individual, perseverance, never give up. You may not give up. Keep going, whatever you do. In my days on Veld Focus, I often showed how porcupines kill leopards. We don't realize that this happens, but it does, and they kill them. So the innovation occurs, and be resourceful. I hear people saying, well, I don't have the resources, these are individuals, to run my business. I don't have the vehicles. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the premises. I don't have the time. You're not failing because you don't have the resources. You're failing because you don't have resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is drive, it's passion, it's the will to want to succeed, to make things happen, to get things done, to build something out of nothing. That's being resourceful. And if you're resourceful, you can have any resource that you ever wanted. There it is. Work hard enough and it's yours. But like we saw with the lions, doesn't matter who you are, you've got to know your customer. A warthog is a formidable creature. Here's a warthog that in a standoff against 7 wild dogs, and by the way, it disemboweled one of those, and it got out of that alive. It'll take on a lion. It has a huge problem with leopards, but leopards love to hunt warthogs. So you've got to know who you're dealing with here, and the leopard does. In this case, those very sharp bottom tusks are looking to disembowel the leopard, and many have died by those tusks on a warthog. So if you know that that's the danger, you've got to get underneath the danger. That's what the leopard does. The results speak for itself. End of the day, the job's done. The profits have been secured. You've applied the competitive advantage, and you're done. So if you're going to operate as an individual, hone your skills, assess, plan, and execute. 90% being the assessment and planning, then do it. Persevere, be resourceful, never give up, and be positive. What you think is what you become. I want to touch briefly on personal branding. I'm not talking about the branding that we see in large companies. I'm talking about our own branding. When I speak with youngsters, it's a thing that I implore them to begin to understand who they are and how they come across. It's as old as time itself. You know, a snake here is simply a tube. It's a rod, a cylindrical rod. But when it applies branding and lifts up by spreading the ribs in the neck region and having a black bar and waving, it's a whole new ball game. The Egyptians even were aware of this, and that's why the pharaohs used to have these cobras, especially on their headgear and masks. So in terms of personal branding, we ask about first impressions. Who am I? Who am I? If you meet someone for the first time, do you leave that impression? How do others perceive me? Do I make an impact? Do I have presence? Do I have the ability to influence? These are critical things. And you know, I'm not just talking about humans here. This is part of head, heart, and guts. From the beginning, creatures have known these things. Watch this.
This is the best caterpillar in the world. Kind of looks like a dead stick. Until you annoy him. He turns into a perfect little viper. Thrashes around as well. There you go. He puffs up those eyes. They fill with air. They've even got the white spots that look like reflections in the eyes. And people are scared of these around here.
Even got the white spots for reflection in the eye. That's incredible. Now we ask ourselves the question, does that make an impact? Does that leave an impression? Does that say something about you? Elephants do it all the time. Baboons do it all the time with those yawns. They are demonstrating who they are, what they've got, what they're capable of. They're leaving impressions. A peacock does it. Watch the birds. That's all about personal branding. So it's time to finish now. Folks, no matter who you are or where you want to go, and it's happened since the beginning of time, with everything alive, it always has been and always will be a question of head, heart, and guts. Good luck to you all and be safe in these times. Thank you.